Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 187 based on novel. So let's start. To confirm Luo Feng's death, the most important thing was to see the remains of the cloud contact vine, along with the red identification tag. If I enter the ice forest and get surrounded by those beasts, I'll definitely be killed. Much less him. But I have to confirm his identity. Sector Lord Wu Qi stood at the intersection of the 817 caves, nervous and restless. What should he do? Both ways were just as difficult. I'll first enter the virtual universe network to check with the others. Wu Qi sent a thread of his consciousness into the network swiftly. Different from Blood River World, the Nine-Star Ocean was an area controlled by the Virtual Universe Company. Sector Lords and Undyings were frequently visiting back from exploring the universe, hence they had stuff such as the Virtual Universe Network along with universe ships etc. Virtual Universe, in an ancient house. Bayan. Sector Lord Wu Qi sat in the chair, and a screen appeared before him. Very quickly, another black horned man appeared in it. It was the strongest one of the 6 from the 1000-star sect group, Sector Lord Level 9 Bayan. Wu Qi, why are you looking for me? Bayan asked on the screen. I think I've found the target. Wu Qi's eyes were burning like flames. Oh? Bayan revealed an expression of glee. This mission was simply like a hot coal in hands. They were very clear that the background of their target wasn't simple, however they had no choice about it. If Wu Qi had killed the target, naturally Bayan would be extremely happy. He quickly asked, have you confirmed there is no way to? Wu Qi shook his head. Why? Bayan was suspicious. It's this way, I discovered a universe level 9 before. Sector Lord Wu Qi began to explain the entire story. Bayan was silent for a while. You are wrong. Bayan said. Wrong? Where have I been wrong? Even I almost died, hence that universe level 9 would definitely have died. And to have been able to escape from me, he definitely isn't from 9-Star Ocean. Wu Qi was very confident. Yes, indeed it's very likely he isn't from 9-Star Ocean. Bayan said. However Wu Qi, you've forgotten one point. This Demon Mountain would very frequently have high-valued beings from the Virtual Universe Company. These beings are all universe level 9s, all with many of their own methods. You've indeed met one out of the ordinary, however, it may not necessarily be the target. It might very likely have been another of these beings. Ah. Wu Qi was stunned. Yes. Bayan was right, there were many high-status universe level 9s that explored Demon Mountain, not just one. Then what should I do? Wu Qi frowned. Should I wait at the cave entrance for a chance or continue searching? This way, you stay there and guard first. Bayan said. After a while, you can sneak back into the cave, get close to the ice forest, carefully hide your energy and you shouldn't be discovered. Check carefully whether there's a cloud contact vine remains. I think those stupid beasts shouldn't have destroyed the remains. Wu Qi pondered for a while before nodding. Within the vast pathway. The huge lizard beast, after discovering the human sector lord had vanished and chased for hundreds of thousands of kilometers to no avail, stopped. After a while, the 3 sector lord beasts behind slowed down too and stopped behind the lizard beast. Howl! The lizard beast raised its head and howled, causing the entire pathway to tremble. Howl! The other 4 sector lord beasts raised their heads and howled too. After which the lizard beast turned and started to return, the other 4 sector lord beast followed suit. When they were chasing the human before they were extremely fast, however they casually ran back, using only 1/3 of their speed before. What's going on, returning? One member of the vast army, that 8M tall cute ice bear looked around. It saw that all the beasts stopped running, there were many types of them, and they all followed the leading lizard beast and returned. Even though the lizard beast and the other sector lord beasts were returning, the over 1,000 other beasts weren't completely uniform. Most of them started to return. Only a small group of them continued to walk about slowly, with about 10 of them continuing down the pathway, heading towards where the sector lord had fled to. Their thought process was extremely simple. Just like a group of little chickens running amok, most of them would run together, but some would still leave the group. No wonder I met a single one earlier. The ice bear Luo Feng pondered, carefully observing the happenings about. The beasts enjoy being in a group and community. However, there would occasionally be some dumb enough to leave the group. Who knows whether the sector lord has died or not? If he's dead, I can leave this path. If he hasn't died, he probably would have left far away. I would still be able to leave the same way. The ice bear slowly followed the 10 or so other beasts and headed in the direction of where the sector lord fled. The ice bear would occasionally run and then stroll. The other 10 beasts too would occasionally use their huge ice bodies to nudge the ice bear. Moving with the 10 beasts, the ice bear ran for a while, leaving them behind. Only then did it begin to accelerate towards the cave entrance. After a while, Luo Feng, I've scanned world energy ripples. It's that sector lord from before. The running ice bear naturally slowed down, deliberately using its body to knock into the ice walls beside. After proceeding forward a little more, he turned and headed back instead. There are beasts. The black-horned skinny man at the intersection of the 817 caves frowned, after which he let out a sigh of relief. Universe level 3 beast. So stupid, using its body to knock into the ice walls, seemed stupid. He was too lazy to go kill a beast. And Wu Qi was still afraid from before. He was afraid that the commotion caused from killing this beast would attract even more. It's returning. That's right, return to your nest. Sector Lord Wu Qi smiled. That beast had already turned and left his world energy area. Within the ice pathways, the ice bear slowly walked, and as it left the world energy area. Luo Feng, we've already left the world energy area. The ice bear's eyes had a hint of vigor. I didn't expect the sector lord to stick around. I was 10,003 kilometers away from the 817 cave intersection. According to the distance, I deduced that the sector lord could very likely be hiding at the intersection. This is just an assumption. Barbata communicated via consciousness. That area is very safe. The moment he discovers any beast that tried to follow him, he can immediately head into another cave. I think the beasts too wouldn't be able to guess which cave he headed into. However, he hasn't left, making me suspect. Suspect what? Luo Feng asked. The beasts are terrifying. That sector lord is very clear on that. Him staying at the intersection, even though it's safe, there would still be the chance of beasts chasing out. The safest way is to leave far away. But he hasn't done that. He's not collecting tags in Demon Mountain, but standing guard there. Plus, he tried so hard to kill you before. I have to suspect that his true aim is you, Luo Feng. Barbata said. It's me? Luo Feng frowned, remembering all that happened earlier. Indeed, this sector lord was on high alert at the cave entrance, not daring to relax. If it weren't for killing him, there was no need for him to be on such high alert there. Why would he want to kill me? Luo Feng frowned. For the Aboriginals to join the Virtual Universe Company, one way was to stay in Demon Mountain for a month, and the other way was to collect 1,000 black tags or 1 red tag. However, with a sector lord level 9 strength, collecting 1,000 black tags or staying 1 month there was very simple. There was no need to stand guard at the cave at all. Even if he suspects you are the one from the Virtual Universe Company, there's no need for him to kill you. Because killing you wouldn't do good for him in the Virtual Universe Company in the future. Also, he has no need to. I deduce that someone wants you dead or wants one of the other two from the company dead. Barbata said. Wants me dead? Luo Feng's expression changed. According to the information, there were a total of 3 core members that had entered Demon Mountain. His target should be one of you 3. Barbata was very sure. And it's hard to say whether the other 2 entered Demon Note Mountain. Hence, the chances of his true target being you should reach up to 50%, 50%. Who would want to kill me? Who have I offended? Luo Feng frowned. At times, some people you don't even know may want to kill you. At other times, you don't even know when you've offended others. Barbata said. I've followed your teacher for over 60 million years. I've seen too many mutual deceptions. I advise you to be very careful. This Demon Mountain exploration isn't that simple. Understood. The ice bear let out a low roar and began to return to the ice forest. As the ice walls of the pathway were simply too thick, even though the surface layer could be split and broken, the several kilometer thick rock layer behind couldn't be broken through. Even a Sector Lord warrior had to flee with all his might, with no way to break through. It meant one thing, that this majestic mountain's black rock was extremely sturdy. After a while, the ice bear slowly returned to the ice forest. Within the vast forest, the beasts all lived quietly, and the ice bear Luo Feng didn't arouse any suspicion from the rest at all. How? A 600-meter-long domain Lord Level 9 flying beast lay on the ice layer. It casually flapped its ice wings and it knocked the ice bear that was just walking past to fall and roll about. Only then did the ice bear stupidly stand back up again. In this ice forest beast nest, the ice bear passed through many of the beasts, continuing forward. There's actually no way to head out from here. I can only see if there's another exit in this forest. Luo Feng thought. The ice bear slowly progressed, occasionally letting out a low roar. The wild beasts groups in the ice mountain area was divided into three: the lizard beast, the giant human beast and the bird beast. These three sector lord pinnacles governed the three groups. The ice bear Luo Feng walked about slowly and stupidly, similar to the others. After over 3 hours, he had completely walked about the beast area. Damn! Ice bear Luo Feng let out a sigh of relief, glancing back at the vast ice forest in which the beasts lived. I finally walked out of the beast group area. Only then did he relax. The initially stupid ice bear's eyes gleamed as he looked ahead. The path ahead was still a vast ice forest. Occasionally he would see 1 or 2 stray beasts. Since there's no way to return with that sector lord guarding that other route, I can only proceed forward. Ice bear Luo Feng occasionally ran and slowed down. At this time, he couldn't see any other beasts about, and before him was a vast endless ice forest. This ice forest was endless. He continued as the ice bear. Howl. The demon note was sometimes strong and weak, invading his soul and hypnotizing his consciousness. The moment one succumbed to it, he would become a zombie. This is troublesome. Ice bear Luo Feng slowed down, and his silver eyes filled with a hint of worry. The deeper I get into the ice forest, the stronger the occasional demon note. The formless and noiseless demon note invaded his soul. Ice bear Luo Feng slightly trembled. The strength of this demon note, even normal sector lord level 3, would be immediately controlled. Luo Feng was shocked within. According to the Fantasy Ocean's islands and information, he could roughly gauge the levels of willpower and consciousness. In terms of willpower alone, he was comparable to a normal undying. Only his consciousness was still weak, hence he was stuck at the 10th island. And the demon note didn't have any consciousness pressure, just hypnotism. Hence Luo Feng was more proficient in withstanding it. This was the reason for him to choose the demon note mountain. A peculiar sound pierced into his soul. Immediately millions of illusions appeared, wave after wave of hypnotism started. Just to go through all of these would take countless years. Break. His extreme level willpower had no compromise. He completely broke through all the illusions. The ice bear became a black energy flow. The formless energy took the shape of a human and finally formed the black horned youth again. He was already 100 kilometers away from where he first discovered the beasts. Plus he hadn't seen another beast in over 100,000 kilometers, hence he returned to human form. He swapped back to his earth body. It was best he didn't reveal the Mosha body too much. Luo Feng looked at the side of the ice mountain. The demon note from earlier, even Sector Lord 6 or 7 wouldn't be able to take it. How strange. Luo Feng frowned. It's been a while since I entered Demon Note Mountain, however most of the demon notes in the caves are mostly weak. Even universe levels can take it. Occasionally they could hypnotize a universe level, only very few reach up to the domain lord level. As for the sector lord level demon notes, they rarely appear. Looking at the vast ice forest ahead, Luo Feng frowned, as it felt extremely peculiar. Within this ice forest, the demon note's strength was too terrifying. Looking at the situation, the deeper he went, the demon notes he encountered would occasionally get stronger. If this went on, he was afraid the next one would be at the Sector Lord pinnacle level. Any stronger, it would even be able to hypnotize an Undying. At that time, Luo Feng didn't have the confidence to withstand it. Do I continue? Luo Feng pondered. Go. Luo Feng gritted his teeth, his eyes gleaming. I'm very clear of my own limits. This current demon note is still far from my threshold. I want to see just how strong the demon note in this ice forest gets. He continued on. As he progressed, the demon note was sometimes stronger than others, however, as a whole, it was indeed stronger than before. After about 100,000 kilometers. That demon note earlier is the most terrifying since I entered Demon Note Mountain. It should be able to hypnotize even Sector Lord pinnacles. Luo Feng gritted his teeth, his eyes squinting, his gaze was like a blade, piercing forward. One's eyes were the windows to the soul. Obviously Luo Feng was already on high alert, his willpower and consciousness were condensed to their limit. Still quite far from my threshold. He continued on, maintaining his caution, and not daring to get careless. After walking another 2,000 kilometers or so, he reached the end of the vast ice forest. Ahead were 3 familiar spacious pathways. Cave pathways. The ice forest is over? Luo Feng smiled, somewhat curious. This ice forest has such strong demon notes. Are there no other secrets? He turned around and glanced at the 100 kilometers of ice forest, feeling that there should be something else special within. I'll randomly pick one. Luo Feng walked toward center of the 3 pathways. This one was close to 20 kilometers wide, and 7 to 8 kilometers tall. Compared to it, Luo Feng was a small dot. Like an ant walking within a human's walkway. When Luo Feng reached 10 meters before the entrance, he took one step and stepped through. Rumble, an unbelievable terrifying swallowing strength generated from the cave's entrance. The surrounding space became a visible energy whirlpool, as the ground's ice layer itself was ripped up from below and sucked into the cave. Luo Feng couldn't react in time. His entire being was sucked straight into the cave. Like a huge mouth swallowing anything that came close. Damn, what is this? Luo Feng stared. Clang! While he was being swallowed, a noiseless demon note pierced straight into his consciousness. Like a huge copper pot clanging about, in an instant he felt his consciousness and willpower drift almost like a small boat in a tidal storm. Each wave after wave made it feel like the boat was about to capsize. Because of the demon note's interference, Luo Feng was at the brink of collapse. He couldn't care about anything else. His entire being got sucked in. From his arms thick and powerful dark red vines extended fiercely. The vines either pierced deep into the ice walls or clung onto the entrance of the cave. Countless leaves extended into the ground surface with more vines extending as quick as lightning out. The cave's width was about 20 kilometers. As for the Domain Lord Level 9 Cloud Contact Vine, every vine alone far exceeded this little distance, almost like a big octopus with many tentacles, madly heading towards the entrance of the cave. The strength of the plant life form was unbelievable. Rumble. The terrifying swallowing strength made even the Cloud Contact Vine, at full strength, began to rip apart at its vines. The thick vines tore apart. The leaves that penetrated the ice layer too were plucked apart. My God! The demon note came and went fast. Luo Feng quickly regained his consciousness. Seeing the vines start to break apart, he immediately roared within. His earth body immediately became the Mosha Classman, and the Mosha Classman had already become a 30 centimeters long, 6 centimeters wide shuttle. It had 2 horns, it was round in the middle and smooth. As the shuttle's size was much smaller than a normal human body, and because of its build, it made the swallowing strength several hundred times less compared to the human body before. The favored of Space Mosha Clansman, with only 1/100th of the swallowing strength acting on it, finally broke through and flew out of the cave. When the Mosha shuttle was over 100 m away from the cave, the terrifying swallowing strength instantly vanished. The shuttle became a black energy and formed a human body. Luo Feng stared at the center of the 3 caves, recalling the scene before, trembling from within. Instantly attacked by the demon note, I could only withstand it with all my might. Normal Sector Lord pinnacles wouldn't be able to withstand it. And that swallowing strength, only after the Mosha changed form and used its proficiency in the space laws was I able to escape. Luo Feng looked at the cave ahead, filled with fear. If he was swallowed in, what would have happened? Who knows, Luo Feng? Only now did Barbata's voice resound. That was a typical death trap within a universe secret region. What death trap? Luo Feng asked. In the vast universe, the most peculiar and mysterious are the secret regions. These regions are all special occurrences that evolved from the primal universe, forming many different regions. All these regions are never the exact same. And the danger levels are different too, the forms of danger are different too, some are obvious dangers, even though terrifying, but it's still good that way. Some however have obscure dangers, seemingly safe yet the danger suddenly occurs. Just like the cave ahead, this Demon Note mountain has trillions of pathways, the rest are all safe. Only when you enter one without defense, then the swallowing strength will suddenly hit you with the Demon Note. I dare say, within that cave, there are even more dangerous things. Barbata said, this sudden danger, without any chance to prepare or defend, make these considered death traps. Who knows how many undyings, how many geniuses with bright futures? How many great beings have fallen in the death traps? Barbata said. Luo Feng was shocked. He suddenly remembered his teacher Tru Yang who spoke of an absolute genius that was able to kill an official level undying when he was Sector Lord Pinnacle. However, that absolute genius finally still fell within a secret region. Even though the absolute beginning region was controlled by the Virtual Universe Company, there are still some special places that even they cannot fully control. Barbata said. Just like the Blood River world, and the depths of this Demon Note mountain, they are like that. You need to be extremely careful. Back when I followed your teacher, I've seen too many such situations, too many warriors dying like this. These death traps, some carry huge treasure troves, but some are truly dead ends. Luo Feng nodded. After which he turned to look at the left and right caves. I cannot head back. That sector lord is standing guard ahead of me. There are 3 caves, among which I cannot enter the middle one. But which of the other 2 should I go to? With 3 paths ahead and no way back, Luo Feng once again became a shuttle shape and tried the cave on the left. There's no swallowing energy, and no such terrifying Demon Note. The flying shuttle within the cave flew 100,000 kilometers in one breath, finally reaching the end of the cave. Ahead were 38 other caves, simultaneously there were 3 bodies. Someone has already been here. Looks quite safe. The shuttle returned to human shape. Surely he couldn't simply just fly around in that form. If he were to be seen by others they'd be shocked. 3 days later. In his earth body in the black horned youth shape, Luo Feng carefully progressed, and he felt relaxed within though. Ever since he entered the left cave after leaving the ice forest, he hadn't met such a precarious situation, and everything was very normal. Just like when he first entered Demon Note Mountain, he would occasionally meet another warrior or a lone beast, and the Demon Note wasn't that strong. It seems like the ice forest area was indeed special. Luo Feng recalled the episode from before. The deeper I went into the forest, the stronger the Demon Note, until the end of it. There I encountered the Swallowing Cave and the strong Demon Note. After that, there hasn't been any danger. That cave was an endpoint. I still feel that cave had some secret behind it. Luo Feng thought so. What are you thinking about? That Swallowing Cave from the ice forest? Barbata's voice resounded. Luo Feng nodded. I knew you'd think about it, right? Danger often accompanies miracles. These death traps are very terrifying. The dangers will hit wave after wave, however if you survive it, you might get a shocking reward. Barbata said. This is also why many great beings enjoy exploring secret regions. However, you have to know your limits. The number of treasure troves the universe has produced is countless, however many absolute beings have all fallen to these places. Barbata said. Your strongest golden horned beast hasn't even stepped into the sector lord level. And you wish to try these death traps. Even undyings have fallen. As for you, your death percentage is over 99%, unless you are truly just simply lucky. Luo Feng awoke. The entrance alone was that terrifying, he probably wouldn't be able to deal with and take what was inside. You can only do as much as how strong you are. If you are greedy, you will die. Luo Feng looked at the endless cave ahead of him. The cold permeated his body, he couldn't help but feel tiny. Compared to the many mysteries of the vast universe, his power was simply too weak and small. Even undyings fell all the time, he was only an ant compared to the undying. Hard work, only after becoming a true absolute warrior, one of the many in the vast universe, will I be able to control my own fate and protect my family and home. Luo Feng took a deep breath, onwards. Within the depths of the cave, a skinny 2.6-meter tall bamboo-like man with two long silver horns on his head was present. He almost looked like a mountain goat, and he seemed cold and old. As he lay on one of the ice sculptures by the side, his eyes gleamed with gold light, as his nose releasing comfortable snorts. Harder, harder. There were two aboriginal youths, one with crossed legs, another one was massaging the shoulders of that old man. Beside them stood 12 either clean-cut, or handsome, or simple-looking, or brave-looking youths. There were universe levels and domain lords. The skinny goat-like old man opened his eyes and smiled at the cross-legged universe-level youth before him. Come here, elder. That universe-level youth cleared his throat. The elder asks for you. A domain lord-level man beside ordered. That universe-level youth approached nervously. The old man smiled, extending his skinny hand and grabbing the youth's, complimenting him. Youth sure is a different thing. The universe-level youth seemed completely uncomfortable all over. He shuddered and quickly retracted. Interesting. The skinny old man smiled. His powerful world energy pressured that youth, almost like a rope binding him, leaving him unable to move at will. He dragged the youth before him. Just kill me, kill me. That universe-level youth suddenly shouted out, tears flowing from his eyes. Brave, if you are truly brave, you can kill yourself. The old man suddenly turned and looked into the distant cave. There a black-horned youth was walking. He suddenly stopped. The two of them had a distance of 100 kilometers. However, at this time, they could clearly see each other. He, another universe-level 9 punk, with an alert gaze, reserved, and firm. I can't even feel a sense of fear. Prized goods are what I like the most. The skinny old man smiled. Kamulu, personally go and catch him for me. Yes, teacher. Besides, the strongest domain level 9 man respectfully complied and became a beam of light shooting forward. Luo Feng saw the distant skinny old man, especially the energy he emitted, feeling danger. Sector Lord, about level 6 or 7. Flee. Luo Feng turned and fled. Whoever my elder likes, don't think of escaping. The silver-horned man's silhouette was like lightning, swiftly chasing. Little punk, relax. My elder won't kill you, he'll take care of you. Luo Feng's expression changed, his goosebumps stood up. Perverted. A punk that liked guys. In the universe, with trillions of races, there were many that liked men. However, the majority of the races in humanity still favored the men and women path. That was the main path. And those that liked men, even though Luo Feng felt uncomfortable with it, he didn't bother himself with it. However, now that it was right before him, how could he not be taken aback? Ha ha, Luo Feng, I didn't expect you to meet such a situation. Barbata said. That perverted old man. Luo Feng cursed, seeing the universe level 9 youth besides him. He should be one of those captured by him, sick. Behind him the domain level 9 silver-horned man swiftly chased. Hence, even though their initial distance was over 100 kilometers, with the chasing, it immediately became a few thousand kilometers. Don't resist, otherwise I might hurt you unintentionally. When that happens, the elder will be upset. The silver-horned man immediately rushed towards Luo Feng. Go and die? Luo Feng's eyes were cold. He swapped his bodies and instantly the Mosha clan took Luo Feng's appearance. Because of this his goosebumps were already standing, hence he was too lazy to use his human body to kill him. His earth body relied on the cloud contact vine. Even though he was able to kill a domain level 9, it would still be troublesome and take a while. For the Mosha clansman, it was much simpler. Illusionary techniques. Luo Feng instantly reached behind the black horned man and his blade flashed. It cut right through his chest and split apart the armor, and split right through the life core. The silver horned man stared wide-eyed. This? The originally weak opponent had vanished and killed him, while he couldn't defend at all. Sick. Luo Feng glanced at the body, he flashed and fled. The old man lay there frowning. Why hasn't Kamulu returned? Teacher, maybe that universe level 9 refuses to submit and senior has to use some strength. Another domain lord leveled youth beside said. The old man gave a low snort, he extended his world energy a bit more until it reached the body of the silver horned man. Rumble. The goat-like old man's eyes raged, he waved his hand violently and the universe-level youth he was toying with earlier immediately exploded, becoming a mess of meat and flesh. This scared the rest of them as they dodged far away. My Kamulu, whoever killed you, I will kill him. The old man roared and instantly became a beam of light, extending his world energy out. However, with Mosha Luo Feng's speed, he had long fled from the cave. How would the old man be able to find him? Luo Feng had fled 1 million kilometers away, through 7 pathways before he finally stopped. Even though I've heard and seen before. However, these warriors that favor men actually tried to catch me, truly sick. Luo Feng glanced back. My strength still isn't sufficient, if I have to unleash the golden horned beast. This cave, however, is only a few tens of kilometers wide, with the golden horned beast's shocking length, it wouldn't be able to move properly at all, forget it. He shook his head, he couldn't be bothered to think of it anymore. If he had the strength, he would definitely retaliate and kill him. Half a day later. Luo Feng sat on the ice to rest, sending a thread of consciousness into the virtual universe network, playing with his wife and children. Primal Chaos City's 30 years training, actual universe 100 years, plus Blood River World's 80 years, the many years had huge changes within Luo Feng's family. Luo Feng, 19.2 kilometers ahead, there's a domain lord level 9 man progressing. Barbata's voice resounded. Luo Feng's thread of consciousness immediately returned to reality. He looked up ahead. Very quickly, domain lord level 9 man's silhouette appeared, his body was short and tough, with a couple of black horns. Another domain lord level 9? Luo Feng shook his head. 10 or so kilometers in the distance, the short man saw Luo Feng, his eyes seemed to gleam with ferocity. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.